What's up everyone, it's Chris Blose. We're out here at Polo Raceway for the Racer X 2014 450 Shootout. The Yamaha 450, for 2014, they pretty much redid their whole bike. Same concept and geometry as 2013. I rode the 2013 all this year. It handles really well in the rough stuff, especially like today the track got pretty choppy and the bike actually worked really well in that. The motor is unbelievable. I think it's the strongest motor out of all of them. But other than that, I still like it. It has a vague front feel, especially in the high-speed turns. The KTM 450, I think it is a really good bike. I think with Dungey being on there, their development has come a long ways. Like I said, it took me about 4 or 5 laps to get used to it. They just stop on a dime. One of the top motors in the stock bikes. Pushed a little bit in the turns. We softened up the fork and it seemed to help a little bit, but still kind of had that front end push. And another thing I wish that KTM would do is have rubber mounted bars. They have a lot of vibration. KTM 350 is a really fun bike. It's almost like a 250F, but with a lot of horsepower. It was good handling bike, high speeds and low speeds. Kind of turned a little bit better than the 450, but kind of still had the same push, but not as bad for me. I'm a front steer type of guy, and I steer a lot off the front end. I kind of like my bikes to not push at all. The Honda 450 was a really good bike too. It's like a real smooth power. Almost like it's under power, but it's really not. You can put it wherever you want. Like the high-speed turns I kind of had a problem with, and it just felt like the front end really wasn't playing it. We tried stiffening it up with air in the clickers, and just the high-speed turns, it just wasn't really working for me. I don't know if it's the forks or what could have been changed to help with that. But other than that, the bike is really lightweight. Put it wherever you want, almost like a 250F, and it was a really good bike. The KX 450 was also a really comfortable bike for me. It had really good power. KX has been known for their power delivery, and it turned pretty well. I got a little bit of push in about the middle of the turns, so we stiffened it up, and that helped out a lot. If I had to pick a winner today, it would be the Suzuki. I just hopped on it, felt right at home. I feel like the power is really good. The bike corners unbelievable. Handles really well, especially at high speeds. For me, the suspension was a little bit stiff, but I think with a little bit of adjustments and getting it set up for my weight, it would be perfect.
Bowyer out here with Racer X 2014 450 Shootout, Pala MX. It's been a beautiful day. First off, got to thank Pete Martini for putting this and David Pingree for putting it together. All these OEMs for bringing the bikes out. It's been an awesome, long day. Got a little blister action going on, but this is tough because all these bikes are so good. I started out on the Honda and I'd never ridden with the air forks before, so immediately I was kind of tripped out about the front end and how it felt. It was an unfamiliar feeling, but I rode it later in the day and I kind of was over it. Second bike I rode was the Suzuki. I really like the Suzuki. It's one of the more popular bikes, I think. Again, the air forks were a little bit funky on it and that kind of threw me off, but the power is amazing on that bike. I hate the stock grips on all the bikes except for the KTMs, and I always like the straight bars. The only thing I don't like about that Suzuki is it doesn't have the straight handlebars and the stock grips. The rest of the machine was it's really spectacular. The third bike I rode was the Yamaha. Really looking forward to riding the Yamaha, and I have an 09 Yamaha that I ride, and I always liked that bike. I never rode the one that nobody liked, so it was kind of cool for me to get to ride the new one, the all new bike, and it really impressed me. Motor is super fast. I'm a bigger guy compared to the guys that rode today, and they kind of complained about some of the aerodynamics of it, but for me it fit me really well. I cornered good on it. It was good in the rough stuff. It's super fast. I'm probably going to say that 3 times here, but I really like the bike. After that I rode the KTMs. Again, I'm a bigger guy, I'm 5'10", 200 pounds, and I felt really comfortable on the KTM. It's super fast. The throttle housing on it feels really light, so it gets on the power really fast. So when you get tired, I'm a vet rider, I'm 36 years old, get a little arm pump action and it's a little scary. But the bike corners well, the brakes are excellent on it, it jumps good. I rode it later in the day when the track was all beat up, and it was super good. So I went from the 450 to the 350 KTM. 350 KTM I was super impressed with. I really don't think it belongs out here with these other bikes because it's so different. You know, on paper it weighs the same, it looks the same, but it's a totally different machine. You carry the momentum more on it, you ride it longer in the gears, the corner's good, it does everything that its big brother does, but it's like a 250F on steroids. And I mean, if I would have rode it earlier in the day when I was fresh and the track was good, I think I really could have put down the fastest lap times on that bike. That's a vet rider's paradise right there. It does everything well. The fourth bike I rode was the Kawasaki. They all do everything well, but the Kawasaki, just after 3 corners, I knew that was my favorite bike. It's too loud though. That's the only thing that I have to say bad about it, is it's super mega loud, which performance-wise doesn't really mean a lot. Maybe your neighbors might think differently, but the Kawasaki is a spectacular bike this year. I think it's unanimously our favorite bike. I don't know, I didn't listen to the other guys, but it's an amazing machine. It corners well, it goes down the straightaways well, it jumps well, it feels good, the brakes are good. You know, the bike was just spectacular.